All right, so we're live. We're live, Mr. Tommy Robinson. We might have another guest come in, but I've been trying to set this thing up all day. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to get I'm freezing up. All right. I don't know why. It's probably somebody just texted into me. That's why. But you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, you're
Uh,
good.
yeah. So we might have another one. So I'm trying to have my desktop up here and play music. I'm going to share the screen where we can see instead of me trying to put up pictures up on here and download everything into it. I found it a little bit easier to go ahead and just stick it on my lap. For old guys trying to do trying
Trust me, I
to do
know.
multitasking this kind of stuff. But how you doing, man? What you drinking?
I am drinking Devil's Backbone,
Ooh,
16 point.
man,
Yeah.
I just had some the hazy IPA.
From from Devil's Backbone? Oh, you froze up again.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm all of a sudden I'm freezing up. I was there about an hour ago. Three times I've been on here making sure everything was working good. Um, but we bring you up here. The other one hasn't showed up yet. But what I want to do is say first, before we start anything, I got to say happy birthday to Mrs. Doris. We were supposed to be in Baltimore to go to their birthday party. We can't really go too far away from the house, so they know we can't make it. But I just want to wish her a happy birthday. She's turning 79, and she's actually at Dick's Halfway In right now, bar playing music and eating and all that stuff. So I definitely got to wish her a happy birthday. I thought we would have another guest. She might come in after watching a little bit. Um, but how you been feeling there, pal?
Um, holiday blues kind of deal. It's been super cold and it got super hot. So I mean, I haven't fished much. So I've been definitely listening to a lot more music these days. So that's always a plus. You know. But
Uh,
outside of that, everything was cool. How was your holiday?
it was good. It was quiet. It's always a good thing. Um, I it's been nice. I look at the best thing is I get to see my grandson every once in a while. His birthday is actually New Year's Eve, so right before the New Year's Eve. So I was going to go watch his basketball game today. It's his first game playing basketball, and I going to go next week. I told him because there was a lot of things I had to do and trying to get all this done. I just said, "Hey, let me go ahead and we'll do it next week and watch him and everything." I think he was nervous that I was going to come anyway. You know,
Oh yeah.
he was nervous. He just turned 10, and I think he was really nervous. But I know I was getting ready to make a video of my top five um, albums. Now, the one album, my first album that I really think's the best album of the year. The other ones, actually, I got about. I won't lie to you. I had five, but I think I made it seven. They're just like they're the ones that stood out to me the most. And listening through them again today, and every time I would hit another band, I was like, God darn it, how come I can't put this band on there? So I added a couple extra bands, and I know you don't care.
Now, honorable mentions are always cool. Yeah.
And I will
I
say,
struggle picking five, to be honest with you. There's not a whole lot of new music that I listen to, but the five that I picked are definitely great albums, and I could have easily added at least one more, and we'll get into that. But yeah, I definitely had to kind of search and feel around a little bit to figure out exactly what would be on my list. But definitely, those five are definitely great albums in my opinion.
you went a little. What I was looking at, you went a little bit heavier than I thought, and I think you might be shocked that you might not. I think you know about one of them, but you might be kind of shocked at one of them. Um, it's kind of a little bit off the wall, but it's metal. There's so many different genres of metal that we listen to.
Right.
From I mean, from all the stuff now. We were talking if Anastasia does come up, what I'll explain to her is that she had put on Facebook that she liked to see this band, and I was just curious. Sometimes when you have friends and you don't know them that well, maybe what kind of music they listen to. So I went and actually listened to the band, and it actually was, even though it was kind of melodic, it was actually a little bit heavier um, than I thought. And Grant and Anastasia, right?
Oh yeah, 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 yep.
And so, being not being too creepy, I texted her and was talking a little bit of music, and we've been talking back and forth. So I've been sending her um, music. Now I started off pretty light with it's a band called Silver Lake. I think I played it for you once, and the singers. At first, I thought it was a woman singer. It's so he was a guest singer on this song. It's an album this band made, and they have different guest singers that came on there, and he was on it. Um, his original band. The only thing I didn't like about it is his original band that he's in lead singing. It all kind of seemed like the same format. It started off slow. Hold on. Hey, Boxcar Jerry. My old lady's here. Horns Up TV. And and I tried to bring her in because a lot of people, like Grant had mentioned, that how do you listen? How can you stand listening to all that screaming? And a lot of people don't understand is that I tell you what, with some of the singers that we've listened to before, I put them up against any pop singer, any singer, any kind of singer, because I think some of them are some of the greatest in the world. Did you hear me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. If you say like people have their own taste of music. Excuse me, take a drink real quick.
Yeah. Can you grab me? I'm going to whip out on it just for a second. Can you grab me some water?
Well, most beers 90% water anyhow. So
Well, I have one that. So what I have today, I do watch another YouTube channel, and it's called 21090. And they put a lot of music. Now they're really into the hair metal kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, really, that's their genre. But they still like all the, like heavier, like Metallica and stuff like that. Um, some heavier stuff. But their favorite stuff is more of that style music. And so I go there and I actually won a whiskey. And I've tried whiskey, man. I can't do it. I really try. So I figured the next best thing would be they actually make beers that are actually barrel aged. So they actually take the beer and they stick it in whiskey barrels and they ferment them for like a year or two. And I have one of them. It's about a 15%. Let's see, it's about 15% alcohol, and I might break that open. I'm debating. I'm debating whether to do that. I'm going to have a little drink of water right now. But a lot of people get the misconception when we listen to heavy metal that it's all screaming and yelling and everything. And I gave her that one, but then everybody hears Whitesnake, and I don't know how heavy she gets, but I gave her Whitesnake, so I gave her something that she's never heard before: Judgment Day and Crying in the Rain. They're probably my two favorite songs from Whitesnake. I think she really liked it, and then I threw her Inglorious. Now, Inglorious, their singer, and I don't know. Look, I'm not a guy that knows every freaking guy people's names and everybody in the band and every song on every album. I don't do that. I'll go by band. But you're talking about a rock band or a metal band considered. He sang. It was so bluesy that I thought she would really like it.
I lost your audio there, bud. I don't know if you can still hear me, but I can't hear you again. Can't hear you.
All right, all right. Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good.
Internet. The Wi-Fi keeps going out. All right. So what? So Yeah, I'm trying to explain why I was sending it to her, and I've actually done it with somebody else. Um, so a lot of my stuff is a little mixed. I am more. You're to me always seem like more of a punky guy. You kind of like your punky music, your thrash metal. I'm definitely more of an old school thrash metal guy. I guess that's what when I came into metal, that was kind of the big thing. Overkill and all that stuff. And some of this is it's definitely thrash metal, but definitely have three different styles singing with the thrash metal. So I think it's what it makes it different. And then I got three women. I got three girls that are actually on this on the ones that I really like. So we play music, and for some reason we kind of just blank out. That could possibly because they we got copyrighted for some reason. All right. I will try now. I'm going to try to do this. I practice this, and we will see if it works. All right. All right. So my first, I don't want to show you everything right now, but my first one right here is called Hypera. Now this is a girl singer. Um, I wrote some of this stuff down real quick. Hold on. They're from Canada. They're from Canada. The singer is called Marley Riley. Um, I think she's really good because she does all different kind of stuff. I'm gonna try to play a little bit. If you get feedback, you need to kind of do this or something to let me know. Okay? Can you hear it?
Oh yeah, totally feedback.
Can you hear it now?
There you go. Yep. Good.
That's a girl singer.
Yeah, pretty intense.
But she changes it up. Man, I think it's got awesome leads in it. I wanted to let you listen to some of her. Stuff. I want you to hear a little bit. It's got that thrash metal on the back of it, but you got her changing up her voice and ain't just screaming the whole time. It isn't really um, heavy down, growling the whole time, and she definitely mixes her voice. That's kind of what stood out to me. I think it's definitely old school. It's definitely old school thrash metal there. I'll turn it down. Definitely old school thrash metal, and you could hear that pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sounded good.
Good. And I'm gonna go to your. You put yours in order. That all the ones I'm gonna all the ones I'm going to show you are they weren't really in any order, but the last one that I show you is definitely my favorite album of the year. You definitely picked. You were definitely Megadeth. Oh,
Yeah, Megadeth was my five. So of the five, it would be the least of the favorites, but I think it's a really good album. It kind of gets back to I didn't quite like a lot of the the latest releases of Megadeth, but probably since like Euthanasia, past that I didn't really care much for them. I mean they're good albums, just not great albums, but I thought this one was much better than the last, you know, 4 or 5 albums that they put out.
yeah. I won't lie. I didn't hear a lot of great reviews on it. I really didn't listen to. I was listening to the song a little bit, but I really didn't hear a lot of great reviews on that album. Um, but Talga, I watched they had this they had the they had him he did his live show. It's kind of weird. What they would do is they would he would play a song and then he would go where they actually did an interview with him. And I could tell you, man, that was probably the worst. It was like a live audience in the studio. He was terrible. I mean, his singing was really bad. Now this was probably before he had surgery and all that stuff with his throat. That I think because this has been a while since I watched it. But watching it
Right.
live, was pretty bad. But Megadeth is still one of my top bands of all times. You can't go with some of the older stuff that they've put out.
Yeah, it's good stuff. That the first 4 or 5 albums really were, top notch.
All right, so this I'm gonna throw off and oh well, where'd you go? Hold on. As we play, as Sam plays with the computer, I was just listening to music as we were leaving. The so this one right here is just was just good, and this is actually 221. We can't throw that one in there. We're gonna worry about that. I'm gonna throw that one out there. This one came out, and I actually wanted to play this on one of my videos, and Saints and Sinner, but Wi-Fi. I keep freezing for some reason. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. I'm sorry I'm cutting in and out. I've been messing around with stuff all day, and you think you got it all right, and then
That's all good.
who? Hey man, come on everybody! It's a Saturday night. It's like a power metal. I really love that. Listen to this. Going to work at 3 o'clock in the morning. You got this stuff blasting. Um, this was really good. I really like this album, and I kept getting copyrighted on it. I try to play different stuff, and the copyright stuff just that's the whole reason why I haven't put it on the other channel because of the copyright stuff. It just got to be too much, man.
Yeah, I mean, everything on my channel is copyrighted, so
Uh-oh.
I'm not monetized, so I don't really care. But some of it gets totally blocked. Oh, I think I lost you again there, buddy.
Yeah, we froze again. I don't know why I keep freezing. All right, so let's go to. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're good.
Now I heard this was a good album. I'm going to go with. No, I haven't heard that. I was listening to this one earlier that you gave me. It's called Trader Exile to the Surface.
Yeah, that's super thrashy.
I think that's one of our. I think we might just say that a lot of this is going to sound like thrash metal. What would you say?
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, at least I think 2 or 3 of the albums that I picked were thrash metal. I had at least one death metal. Um, yeah, well, I'd say 2 of them, but this band is a lot like Creator. I think
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of similarities with Creators. They're from they're from Germany as well. So
That the Saints and Sinner. That's definitely power metal, and they're from Turkey. The one band I just sent
oh
you.
wow, cool.
They're actually from Turkey. It's amazing. A lot of these older bands that we listen to, or I've been listening to. I mean, they're from Australia, Austrian, um, Italy. We do have one of the bands I have is from the USA, and the other ones. I mean, a lot of them is from Australia. This pick this year. Hyper, they're from Canada. You got and the Canada one. Um, this one right here, to me, this is a thrash. This almost don't sound like it's thrash metal, but the singer's so different. I love. I think I pick singers more because the way I look at it is it's really weird because you can have one song and then give three different singers that song, and you might have completely three three different songs. You know what I mean? Just
Oh
by
yeah,
the singer. Um, I've heard a lot of this that I've been listening to. Sometimes I think the singer can really be the whole back, can really make it because you can have some of the best musicians, and I've heard it. I've heard this. I've listened to some really good music, and then the singer starts singing, and you're like, oh my god, and he's not that good, or it just don't work to me. To where,
right. Yeah, I'm the same way. Especially with a lot of death metal. I don't like you know, the growl and the Cookie Monster and the screaming and all that stuff. I mean, I I listen to some of it, um, if it's tolerable, but if it's really bad, I just I can't deal with that. You
I
know.
I think that the ground and as our people call it, screaming. If you can do it in a way, there's singers like the singer from Mudvayne. That first album with Dig on it. He There's a couple times where he gave me goosebumps because he knows when to use the scream. Um,
Right.
that's the same thing that I gave Anastasia. Um, I gave it in this moment, and in this moment was Big Bad Wolf, and you get a build up in there towards the end of the song, and she starts real slow, and man, she just starts building up in her regular voice, and when she gets to that point, she throws out her scream and her that voice, and it just man, it will just put goosebumps right down you to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
Uh,
you know, sometimes it's fitting, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just too much for me. That's
that's why
just, you know, just my take. But
that's why I think I listen to I keep want to use I'm on my iPad looking at stuff, and I keep want to use I keep want to use my iPad. So this one here, they're called Tyrant. In the comments, one of the guys one of the guys asked if that was James Hetfield singing. I think this is more.
yeah, it sounds good.
Like I'm going right into the middle. I'm going right into the middle of songs. I'm just kind of because I've been listening to them all day while I've been working on a lot of stuff. Now they are Tyrant. They're from US. This is a thrash metal band from USA. They're from the US. Singer, the singer's awesome, man. And he's what's that sound like, dude? See, they say they're thrash metal, and he's got more of it's a thrash metal behind him, but his voice is a little bit more melodic, I would say.
Yeah, it's
He,
like progressive metal type deal.
no,
The voice anyway. Well,
they consider themselves thrash metal. Some of it is all through there, but I mean, his singing is. I mean, he goes into some deep voices, but his voice is kind of like that through the whole thing. And I think I like this album, and like I said, they are from the USA. Um, like I said, so I've already given you one, two, three. The next one I'll give you, I'm gonna throw you off a little bit. Now this one I've heard was another great album from Goat Whore. Um, oh, hey, commercials by Tampax. I'm sorry, love, and this is from Napalm Records too. They're actually on a pretty. Can you hear that? Okay.
oh yeah,
Tommy's going. What the hell are you listening to?
nah, sounds good. Sound reminds me of like Epica.
Hey, let's listen to the girl when she comes in. I mean, you got to have good musicians. You got to be tight to pull this off. All right, before we
Yeah,
get
when
back,
I hear this stuff, I kind of remind it reminds me of video games that my son plays.
Yeah, or
I don't know if it's like the music that's in the background of his video games, but that it triggers right away, like, PlayStation games or Xbox games to me. Not bad. I'm not knocking it, but it's just that's what it reminds me of.
one of her songs, as I was listening, who was I listened to somebody listen to it. She was younger. She's only like 25, and I brought this out to her because I've been talking to her about music, and uh, the one song you would have thought you put it behind like what's that cartoon? What's that really cartoon movie with the lion and the lion cubs? Uh,
Lion King, right?
Lion King. Like some kind of music behind it like that with the
Yeah.
heavy, but it's got the heavy guitar, heavy drums, but then you that's why it's called symphonic. It's kind of to me, man. You got to have really good musicians, and you got to have two good singers, and both of them are both. This band is pretty tight. They're actually, I believe, in February they are doing a U.S. tour. They are from they're Austrian, and they will be in the U.S. They'll be in um, New Jersey, I think. New Jersey. They'll be in
Yeah. Okay.
PA. So they're
Not too far of a drive.
you know how it goes, man. You're just gonna freeze up once in a while.
Yeah,
If I
that
drink
happened.
if I drink a beer, maybe that'll knock it all out. But that's a little bit different. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well,
what we'll
it's
do
it's
is
good. It's
go
good
down
to
a little
pick a
bit more.
different.
We'll see what you did. We did Trader, right? We did the Trader go.
Yeah, he did Goat Whore, and my number two was Jungle Rot, actually. Call to Arms, which is really, really good.
What's that?
Uh, my number two,
Next one.
Jungle Rot. Yeah,
Jungle Rot.
yeah,
Oh, he froze up again. Good grief.
yeah. Call to Arms.
Jungle Rot.
Yeah, Jungle Rot. Call to Arms. They're actually out of Kenosha, Wisconsin, and they're super heavy. I mean, really grungy type of thrash metal
Surprised you didn't do that
or
other.
death metal, I should say. Yeah,
What was that other local band, the punky band that's real popular right now?
punky band. It's you mean like
The hell was it?
Turnstile?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wanted to keep it on the metal side. I mean, because you said top five metal albums, so I didn't include any like punk or hardcore or
Oh, you could.
anything like that. So I kind of went all metal. But yeah, definitely. End It would have been on my list for sure.
Hey, and this guy is not pretty.
Yeah, I don't think that's part of their. Uh, that's not part of their look to be pretty. So definitely heavy though.
He's heavy. It sounds good, but he, he always looks like he's got a. Uh, I mean, he is one mean looking dude.
Yeah, he looks pissed. Yeah, they play Maryland Death Fest. I'm pretty sure. I've never been to any of those shows, the Maryland Death Fest, and just was not really a big, huge death metal guy. But they kind of like the Maryland Death Fest. They actually kind of expanded into different other genres as well. So you have some thrash bands going there, and speed metal, and even some hardcore bands have showed up for that. But it's primarily a death metal festival.
That's kind of what a lot of stuff that back in the day. I guess why a lot of us went to the bars and we listened to because we were on the thrashing and stuff. But if you went, you wanted to listen to bands that were playing Poison and all that stuff. But that's where the girls were back then. There was no girls coming to the. There wasn't too many nowadays. I'm gonna tell you what. I'm surprised, man. There's a lot of girls, man, that love this kind of stuff.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah, definitely
Uh,
not back then.
no,
Like I said, they like the bands that look like girls. I wasn't a big fan of that. the glam metal and hair metal stuff, but
I did.
I can listen to some of it now. I can listen to Motley Crue and some of that stuff, but I'm still not a big fan of it.
Well, you're going to be surprised because one of the my top airband guy, Boxcar. Yeah, but yeah, hey, Boxcar, make sure you stick around because my top album might surprise you. They were formed, and I tell you what, if this band was back in the '80s, I believe they would be. Because I was getting ready to do a whole video on them. Well, I was going to do the top 5 on there, and then I was going to. I'm gonna try to play this in the background. I just want to talk over it, so I don't want to get copyright. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
But the hair metal, I just thought it just got so. It got so. It's like country music can get. I think country music can be really cheesy. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah, no doubt.
And that's exactly what I think the '80s hair metal got. It just got so cheesy. And I tell you what, if this, I was so we'll stick in and we'll talk about my top band because I tell you, but I liked it. I like this. He wasn't too off. I just can't handle the. I mean, just I don't know. I kind of really enjoy. Let me turn this down. I kind of really enjoy. So that's your. All right, so this band here is called Panik. Now they don't have an album, but what I think they did do. This is thrash metal. The drummer looks so uncomfortable. I don't know why his hi hat's so far away, but everybody loves their thing.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
They're from Australia too. 3-piece band. They already got four. They got four. So they got 4 singles out. I don't want to open it. So they got 4 singles out, and they just put albums out. I don't know if they get on the record label. Actually, the guy answered me back today. I told him we were going to go live and talk about it. Now, the bass player and the guitar player they switch up singing. So I think this guy did 2 songs. The other guy did 2 songs, and they're just old school thrash metal, man. But it's really really good. What I liked about the first band, the Hyper that I gave her, that was definitely old thrash metal, but she brought that newer, the kids like that newer style voice to it, you know. And there's definitely a lot of girls out there right now singing like that, and she was definitely the best. But this is straight up just thrash metal, man. That's good, man.
Yeah, not bad.
That's actually pretty good. I watched all 4 of them, so I've had them for a while. Um, there's one I'm going to put in here that came right in December, right at the end of the year, and I think you might like this band because even though it's thrash metal underneath, this guy has that. Seems like he's got that punky voice you like. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's not. It's not great, but he just has that. It makes you feel like you'll hear it. But this is Panic, and then your last one is Eccentric. I don't know why I gotta keep doing this. I want to read the
Zentrix.
Eccentrics. Yeah, I didn't want to really go through this too fast because I don't know. We could be here. We got 6 people actually tolerating me. But hey, man, if you like metal, it's all we're talking. We're just really 7 words. That's the official video.
Yeah, that's the name of the band or the name of the album. Yep. And
Oh,
they're out of England. They're English thrash metal band, and this album's killer, man. It's good stuff.
obviously they like thrash metal,
Oh, I love thrash metal.
and they're so. You get feedback, let me know.
Yeah, this band's been around for a while. I think they started in the 80s. Um, they were under a different name. What was it called? Sweet Vengeance is what the
Oh,
band was called before.
okay. Wait, it shut down. God, this is just, you know what I mean? And it's, and I tell you, I couldn't keep up with it. There's, you know, especially in other countries, you know, this thrash metal stuff just does not die. You know, the power metal and all that stuff, the metal scene in other countries are way bigger than it is here, I believe.
Oh
And
yeah,
there's so many new albums, and it's all thrash metal. I mean, all of it. Some of it's bad, some of it, you know, like our EPs. But sometimes I really like the raw sounding stuff.
yeah. A lot of these people, have limited funds, so they can't get like you know a proper tape mixed or whatever. So they're recording with just regular equipment that you could buy at Bill's Music House and
Yeah,
kind of like throwing it together. And so you're only as good as what you can perform. But if you can hear, like you said, the rawness sometimes actually brings an element that you don't get with this digitized and auto tuned and all that stuff. It takes out some of the the feel of music these days. But um, you know I don't think 22 was a great year for music for me. I went to a few shows. I don't know how many shows you got to go to last year, but since COVID, that was one of the best things. Was being able to go back to shows, and I go with my son who likes a lot of the music that I like. So I guess I kind of raised him the right way because he likes good music. So he's a lot into like the Viking metal and stuff like that, and Amon Amarth, who actually has a really good album last year. And another one that could have made my list was um, Lorna Shore, which was really good album this year. But he's into a lot heavier stuff than I am when it comes to that, uh, like the Cookie Monster stuff and all that. But for the most part, he likes that melodic Viking metal,
that's
and
actually
it's actually not bad to listen to.
it's heavy. That's kind of when I did the you know, the theatrical one. You know, there's people that, you know, they want to dress up. You know, when you go to their shows, you know, and the Viking metal, I mean, these people are dressed up in like full Viking
Oh
outfits.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it's
and it's like, well, you can't bring that sword in here, that's not gonna work.
but see, metal is so it's there's such a range in it. When I watch Sam Donald, is it Sam Donaldson did that whole history of he did that whole history of metal, and he just was, man, every little bracket, you know, if you did this kind of metal, well, you had five different brackets of that metal, and there's just so much, and who's considered what and what's not considered. But I don't know, man. I guess the thrash metal is always good. I just like to me, I enjoy a really good singer, and even if he can be a screamer if he does it right, you know, it's just
Yeah, there's no doubt. There's Rob Halford, probably one of the best
all right.
metal
This one
singers out
here,
there.
whoa, 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 hey, yo,
Arkham Witch. Mid 2000s,
yeah,
My Chemical Romance type style music, and again, I not knocking it, just was never my thing.
that wasn't.
No, that definitely wasn't. But
Oh my God, that was. Oh, that's man, that right there is an absolute ridiculous song, man. It's that's just it's a really ridiculous song. All right, this is the band that I'm telling you about. It's obvious thrash metal. This was towards like right at the end, right before the first of the year that I started. This came out the end of December, and it was really good. I mean, it's just what I liked about it was just the singer. I got to play the video. That's you, Tommy. And they're from yeah, I put them on there. No, I didn't put them on there. They're from the UK. Can you hear that?
Yeah. So that's really new. It just came out in December.
Yeah, just came out. It just came out. It just came up on it December 22nd.
Yeah, I'm also subscribed to that YouTube channel, New Wave of Thrash Heavy Metal.
Yeah, I listen to this. I'll go through them every time he puts out at least.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be able to hear new music, you know, basically daily. I mean, with everything that's out there nowadays. I don't know about you, but I used to be a cassette guy, you
Mhm.
know, in the '80s, and I would save my money up and be like word of mouth from like friends that like that kind of music. They were like, "Oh, you got to get this," and check out this band. And sometimes you'd buy it, not even knowing if you would like it. So you were like spending your $7 or $8 for a cassette. I had hundreds of cassettes from high school, just saving my lunch money up every day or every week. I'd buy a tape. Um, and sometimes I get some good ones, and sometimes I get really bad ones. Sometimes you just go and see the artwork, and you're like, "Oh, this has got to be pretty cool." It's going to be heavy, and it turns out to be crap. Um, but
That's
nowadays, with technology of like YouTube, and you just click in there and learn all kind of bands from. Like, I mean, imagine if you had this when you were a teenager. This would have been great, man. The kids don't know what they have
well,
today.
that's kind of the bad thing about this. See, when back then you actually, in order to really listen to it, you had to buy it. You know,
Right.
where now, I sit here and listen through a lot of it. I might buy one or two, but I don't really buy them all. I listen to them all. And see, I was just never. You're my
Think I lost you again. Yep.
the Wi-Fi. Frank, he would go every week, paycheck. He'd go down to Record Tape Traders down on Merritt Boulevard, and he'd be going. The people got sick of. They knew when he came in, they all kind of wanted to go the other way because he'd be listening to. He would because you could listen to him in there before you
Yeah, I
bought him.
used to do the same thing. Yep. At the one in Catonsville when it was here on this side of the tunnel. But yeah, I bought quite a few you know, CDs, albums and cassettes back then from those places.
Sorry, I keep freezing for some god awful reason. Wi-Fi is good Wi-Fi. We pay enough money for it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Um, I'm sorry that Anastasia didn't come up. I wanted her to talk about a couple things, but that's all right. That's all right.
Hookset TV sends you $2.
Hookset TV. What? There's Sean. Sean Hookset TV. What's up there, buddy?
What's
Hey,
up, Sean?
Happy New Year, buddy. I'm sorry. I tuned in, and there's Lori. There's 21090. They came in. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We're just talking. I think a lot of our music that we put in was a lot of it was thrash metal. We had goat horror in here. Now I'm gonna give you my top one, and if these guys would have been in the 80s, because this is a glam band. They started in 2000, and I was really studying this one. We were, me and the wife were just sitting there watching, just playing YouTube videos, just watching music, just sitting around, drinking beer, just kind of going and just listening to music off, YouTube. This band popped up, and I heard the song, and I could not. A week later, I'm still have that song in my head. I couldn't get rid of the song and then I went and listened to it again, and it got better, and I really enjoyed it. And like I said, they're considered a glam band. Uh, they put their first release out in 2005. And unfortunately, the guitar player and singer, they found him apparently committed suicide. He died. He was gone. So they've been through a couple singers. I think the main three guys. I actually put their name down. So you got Martin Sweet, you got Peter London, and you got Eric Young on drums. These guys, I think, have been the three with him the whole time. In 2019, they got this guy is I got to make sure if it's the Gabriel Keys. I think that's his. Hold on, let me make sure because I was writing all the stuff down before all this other stuff. So I ended up listening to the whole album, and I just for a glam band, this has got heavy guitars. Um, they got great hooks. The hooks in every song. Now, as you get later in the album, they just put a new video out, and that's probably the glammiest sounding song on there. And they just put it out, and I'm sorry if I don't know exactly what song that is. That's like something die. Um, actually, I'll let you know in a minute. Let you know one more. If they had the list, the guy had the list here, but he didn't. But this, all right, come on, buddy. Me doing this, trying to work the computer thing is kind of.
I should probably watch that commercial and grow some hair.
I wish mine just wouldn't be so goddamn gray. Now these guys are from Sweden. Oh, these guys are from Sweden. Yeah, they're from Sweden. You'll hear the 80s. Just froze again. I'm sorry, guys. This album's awesome, man. It's just a good rocking. I think it's more of a heavy metal song. I mean, heavy metal. I mean, a good hard rock album. Um, and like I said, in each newer song come up, I mean, listen to the guitar. Okay. Those are 80s. 80s. Tommy's like,
Yeah, to me, it sounds a little bit like Dream Theater.
huh? Yeah, they're not that technical. I'm going to try fast forward listen to some. Oh, see the hooking? It sounds like 80s stuff. But listen. It's not. Oh, feedback. They got this one, a video on this song too. I think it's great. It's just, it's the hooks in all the songs. Um, I want you to hear. it's definitely got the range. He's got range. Um, like I said, they have another album in 2019. This guy stepped up in. Just gotta listen to some. Listen to the heavy music here. See what I mean? I every song to me almost I would say almost got better. But I said towards the end of it, the last song was a ballad. That was I don't know that one. You know how they just maybe throw some music in there just to throw music in there.
Yeah, I got to close out the album with X amount of tracks. So
All right, so
sometimes that's not the best thing to do.
we're gonna stop sharing that. But I think we all had some good picks, but I think we definitely stand out with the thrash metal. Even though my top album, I mean, I couldn't get once I started playing it, then I had another song in there that I couldn't get. A couple days later, I still am humming or singing the hook to it. And to me, when you got an album that you could do that no matter what kind it is, man, that's good album. And it was a couple songs in there, and it just got good hooks. And that's definitely my top album of the year. Very surprising, but it was a good album, real good album. I've heard it like 6 times.
Cool deal. When you start listening to it multiple times, you know it's good.
Yeah, I mean, not only just listen to it. I mean, when you're coming, this the thing for me is that I have an hour drive first thing in the morning, and then about a 45-minute drive in the afternoon, from and back home. So that gives me time to sit down and actually listen to it, in a nice quiet car with nobody really. I think I'm going to click us out because I don't think in case we decided. Well, I'll leave it up here in case I want to share something. Um, I'll do it that way. But I'm very disappointed Anastasia didn't come up. I thought she might be kind of cool to see what kind of music that she was into. Retiring fund donation. I wish, buddy. I wish. I'm getting ready to have a. I'm getting ready to have full knee surgery in February. Replacement whole knee. I see the. I actually went on YouTube and watched the whole surgery. Man, them doctors, man, they just flinging your knee around. I'm going like, oh my god, no wonder you're sore afterwards. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no kidding.
They're hammering.
Full knee replacement, right?
Yeah, full knee replacement. Well, I had an ACL replacement back in early 2000s, and it, I tore it back in. It had to be in the 90s because that's when I had the motorcycle, doing the wheelies. Did a wheelie flip. All the good stuff. Cracked, tore my ACL. Had it replaced early 2000s, and so I think that I just re-injured it. He thinks I stretched it. So I actually have somebody else's body parts in my knee. It's a Achilles tendon they use for my ACL. You know. Um,
Yeah. Your modern day $6 million man over here.
yeah, I was actually going to put that in the new video I just put out doing that boat product stuff. We can rebuild him. Um, but it was supposed to be January 11th. I was supposed to have this knee surgery done. But I'm kind of won't lie to you, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, my knee was swelling up so bad. The kind of work I'm doing, man. I'm a bread man. I do 10, 11,000 steps a day, and there was times I couldn't walk. I mean, I seriously could not walk.
Wow.
I got about two. I had and it was thank God. I can't say enough for my buddy Darnell. He's a rock guy, but he just happened to be available, and he helped me out. I mean, man, he helped me out. I can't even explain how I thank him for that. But that's what's happening now. We are talking music, but we are definitely fishermen. That's kind of how me and Tommy really started talking. Um, I got to meet Andy from Underdog Outdoors. I got to meet him last Sunday. He just bought a house down here, right on the water, um, right around a corner on the water from the Route 50 bridge in Cambridge. He moved down there, so some hunting and some fishing. He says, "Oh yeah, I can't wait. We're gonna go down here and do some crabbing and You can just come down on my pier whenever you want. I'm like, yeah, that's okay with me, buddy. I don't mind that. But the fishing, I just haven't had a chance to get out. But went out with Eddie Weber um, to do some pickerel fishing. Him and Steven from High Octane Custom Baits. We did some pickerel fishing. It was
Yeah,
slow.
good dudes.
Yeah, we had fun. Eddie, man, it's the last two times I've been out on the bay. It's been actually really nice. It was almost like even though it was like 30 degrees in the morning, um, it was like a sheet of glass out there. It was really nice out there on the Severn River. But to get to his boat, so I'm dealing with a knee issue. My knee swollen, and to get to his boat, man, holy crap! There's 53 steps, like straight down.
Straight down. Yeah. That's the way those neighborhoods are that are on the water there with the ramps and the piers, man. They're straight downhill.
That was great.
Yeah.
But so that's my favorite. I want to talk. So what?
Yeah, I haven't fished much this winter. It's been, kind of hectic around the house, doing remodeling our kitchen, and I got my basement all tore apart right now. It's just like a mess. Or, one of these days I'll get you over here and we'll do a stream from here or something, but just bad timing right now with everything going on. Daughter's getting married in September, so wife went out and did the wedding gown shopping today. So got that to deal with this year. So big things going on.
Oh, me, it's been just all I've been doing is sitting down, just not trying to. It seemed like no matter what I did, I was having issues. So it was all about just taking off, just resting, just to be able to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just eat well enough just to go work. So, right in 2023, is there anything music-wise that you're excited about?
I know everybody said this that does these things, but definitely the new Metallica. For the first song that I heard, Lux Eterna, that sounds really, really good. I thought Hardwire was good, but wasn't crazy good. But I think this one's going to be much better. If it's fast and going back to the roots. These guys are in their 60s now, so it's kind of hard to play Metal Militia and Damage Incorporated songs like that. But I think they definitely are going to open up a little bit on this new album. So that's one of the albums I'm looking forward to. Shows coming up. There's a couple bands that I really like to see. End It from Baltimore and Turnstile, Trapped Under Ice. They're all coming around. Trapped Under Ice is one of the it's super underground, but when they were on top, the hardcore scene, they were like the band to see. So they're coming back. They're doing a show, I think later this month, but it's sold out. But I'm trying to get tickets from my boy who's friends with the drummer in the band of End It. So if we can grab those tickets, that'll be a really good show to see. Sacred Reich supposed to have a new album coming out, from what I heard. And there's some talk about Kerry King from Slayer putting something together. He's starting to rumble a little bit about putting something out with Paul Bostaff, the drummer, and we'll see what happens with that. But I think it's got to be better than 2022. I don't think there was a whole lot of good releases out there as previous years, but I think this one's going to be a lot different. Now that COVID's kind of like went away, guys are kind of getting together and practicing a lot more. So I think that's probably why some of these albums of the last couple of years weren't great. But I think you're going to see a lot more stuff coming out.
I just seen on somebody posted on Facebook. Hey, what's up, Russ? How you doing, buddy? At Smoky Ridge Barbecue, man. You want to if you want to learn how to do any kind of like barbecue or any kind of, especially a seafood boil, crawfish boil, that is the man to watch right there. He does it when he does his videos, he does it in such a way that makes it so easy for somebody that really maybe not have too nuts about freaking cooking. That's what I like about him. He just did. What was he did? What did he just do? He just did some real, but he did do a lot of work on the dough. He did something. He did a Tex-Mex pizza, didn't he? Like a taco. He did a remake. Remember, he was doing the tortillas and everything. He freshly made everything. It was great. But today they actually came out with the Winery Dogs. Came out with a new song. The Winery Dogs. That's, if you don't know, it's Richie Kotzen, Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater, and Billy Sheehan, bass player from Mr. Big, David Lee Roth, stuff like that. That was a new song. They're a little technical, but that they're all good, great musicians. The Kotzen, who's the singer from the guitar player from Iron Maiden. Oh crap! Name one of the guitar players from Iron Maiden. The Kotzen and oh crap! They came out with an album.
I can't think of his name actually.
Somebody know it in there? Taco Bell Mexican Pizza. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The Adrian Smith.
That's
Smith,
it.
Smith
There you go.
Man, that was some great music them two put together. I thought that was really good. Now maybe I'm a little bit soft. As much as I love my thrash metal music and stuff like that, that was a really good. That was some good. If you like bluesy kind of.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love blues, man. You say punky thing all the time to me, but punk is kind of like one of the few genres that I very seldom listen to. I mean, I like hardcore, but I don't listen to a lot of punk. I mean, there's some out there that will be in my playlist, but I'm definitely more of a, heavy metal, thrash metal, speed metal, hardcore, classic metal kind of guy. So, I mean, if you listen to what I play on it, depending on the day, I mean, some days it might even have some old school country on there, like Merle Haggard or Hank Williams or something like that. Because I'm pretty much all over the place depending on the mood, and I can't listen to anything more than a half hour. Like I have to switch it up. I can't listen to like Metallica for like longer than an hour. I have to put something else on. I'll listen to an album beginning to end, but I won't listen to, Master Puppets and then Ride the Lightning. I'll have to put like, something in between. It's just the kind of way I am. I kind of get bored really easy.
Yeah, that's kind of why I think I sit around and try to listen to new albums. Now, the albums that I listen to are definitely not from a lot of the major labels, because I think there's a lot of good music that's on independents or maybe labels from like other countries and stuff that maybe we wouldn't hear, and if it wasn't for YouTube. It's so much. I don't even know how much you can keep. I don't know how you keep up with all the music that comes out sometimes.
Oh, it's a lot. I mean, like I said, the record and tape traders days are much different than they are now. With Amazon Music, I subscribe to that, so it's unlimited. Really, you can listen to either that or YouTube. Like some of the channels that we were bringing up on your page there. I mean, every day there's a video pops up. On my subscriptions, I have 10 songs at least per day that I can check out. Just on the channels that I subscribe to.
Albums too. I mean, some of them are just songs or
yeah, it's whole albums. Correct. Yeah.
And some of them I get there. I mean, they're whole albums, and you try to listen to all of them. And I could, this year I got a little busy where I just didn't really listen to as much as I wanted to. And the albums that I gave out, they were just ones that kind of just stuck out to me.
Right.
But I'm definitely going to start this channel back up in 2023 and I might try. You can't really play the music on a lot of them. I think the Panik one that I played and one of the other ones, I don't think they really had a label. So, I mean, you can get away with playing their stuff unless they really, because I would think that if we're going to sit here and review an album and you get copyrighted, that's, what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Yeah.
I mean, you're promoting the album. I mean, you're talking about the album. I mean, that's word of mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think the biggest thing is it's like if it's copyrighted, that's fine. If you don't, if you're monetizing your own YouTube and you're getting paid for, for doing videos, but it's when it's blocked totally. That's what I don't get. It's like, well, I'm promoting, like you said, you're actually selling their albums for them. You know what I mean? By
Mhm.
playing them on, you're it's like being, their music on a commercial. You know what I mean? It's like, well, they're not getting paid, but they are getting paid if you play it on YouTube. So why would they block it? I just never quite understood the whole copyright thing there. But I get where you're not making money on their end from the
Right.
stuff that they're providing, but to totally block it to where nobody can watch it doesn't make any sense to me. But
No, I had that happen with Twisted Sister. I
oh
played.
yeah,
I did Can't Stop Rock and Roll. So I wanted to do it like in the earlier videos. I wanted to do flashbacks. So I went back and played some old stuff. So I played Twisted Sister the video, and it was just like a 20-second short clip. It wasn't even like a it was only a 20-second clip. Completely, I couldn't even get to watch it myself. I couldn't do it.
yeah, and it's weird because I mean, some of these up and coming bands, they're thankful for it, but some of these other bands have been around, like Iron Maiden. If you try to put anything up of AC/DC or some of these bands have been around for a long time, man, it'll get shut down quick. But that's the business. I mean that's just part of it. You can't really do much about it.
It's still it's kind of been fun listening to the music. It's been fun finding and just really finding that there's actually the genre of music that I really love. Thrash metal. How there's just so much of it coming out brand new every year. And it's just cool. No matter whatever kind of metal, if you can find a hair metal, like I said, like the Crash Diet that I played, or there's actually a is it Frontier? It's either Frontier. Because if you got Napalm, you got Frontiers, you got AN's AN. I forgot the name. Actually, I'm not on here. Hold on. I'll give you my. Let me see if I can go to my subscriptions. I'll tell you some of them here. Um, Crash Diet, man, they're just so good. My subscriptions. Like this one's like new wave of old school thrash metal, frontier music, napalm, metal blades. Um, a lot of this stuff is, I mean, there's so much music. I can't even. There's just so much. I mean, you've got some bands that'll play. So not only do they come out with stuff, they actually have like other channels that will play the music, and they don't care. And they're not there. They don't get care if they get copyrighted. They just play the music anyway. You know.
Right.
I don't know why all this stuff ain't coming up, but it's my subscriptions here. But that's a lot of the record labels there that you're going to go and they put out a song and you want to sit here and you want to talk about it, man, and they're copyrighting you and they're giving you a hard time about it. Like the reaction videos. I don't know how a lot of these people play the videos and they're reacting to it like they heard it for the first time, and like a rapper listening to metal and they play the whole song and they got like 200,000 subscribers and they're getting like 200,000 views or 80,000 views, but I mean, they ain't making no money off of that stuff. They can't be. Everything's copyrighted.
Right. Yeah, and you would think it would be, a waste of time for them, really. I mean, other than getting views and bringing people to the channel. I mean, that kind of makes sense if that's your thing, if that's what you want to do. But most YouTubers that are doing it for professionally, where you want to get a paycheck, you know, you got to produce videos to where you're going to get paid for it. So it's kind of like, I guess it go hand in hand. You know what I mean? If you're trying to build your channel, but after you've already built it and you have a big audience, then you're kind of like wasting your time doing that.
Yeah, at the beginning of the videos, there's a couple of them that I can't get monetized because I didn't care because I only had a couple videos, and they said you can't get you got copyrighted on them, I didn't care because I already got like 10 videos on this channel. But I'm going to add more stuff, and I'm going to try to do it. And I got a way I want to put it. You probably won't see my face as much, but really go in depth on the band. Really talk about the band, talk about the songs, my favorite song, my least favorite song, blah 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 blah. Do all that. So I'm gonna try. I got it set up in a way that I got an idea how I want to format it. That's what trouble I had before, and like I said, maybe not me having a green screen behind me and doing the like I said, not showing this mug as much. Maybe showing more of the band. I mean, what I'm talking about. Throw in like
Yeah.
maybe concert video, that in there, but the music might be. Hey, what's up, Cajun Cohen? How you doing, buddy? He's stopping in. But what we'll do, we'll stay another couple minutes, man. And then we'll go ahead and I know it's past your bedtime and my bedtime. You know how we are.
Yeah, I actually stayed up kind of late last night too. Went out, saw my daughter's fiance plays country music, and he played at a local bar here, Twain's Tavern. So go and show him support, and he's really good. Actually, I'm gonna bring him down here in the dungeon and do an interview with him soon. And my channel, this channel here, Horns Up TV, I plan on doing a lot more stuff on there than I will be doing like fishing stuff. Kind of got bored of doing the fishing videos, just because it started to consume me a little bit more than what I wanted to. When I was out on the water, I was trying to focus more on filming than instead of fishing, and it kind of took the fun out of it for me, really. And just I enjoy fishing, but when I go, I just want to fish. I don't really want to record a whole lot. So luckily for me, I got the guys doing videos, that are in the group, Amped Up Outdoors, and they're putting out some steady content, which is pretty cool. I mean, good stuff too.
Trout video. You got a new trout video today.
Yeah, Alex dropped one today, and him, Adam, and Chad, and Taco. I mean, those guys are kind of keeping that all alive. And behind the scenes, we got our events working for the calendar for the year. So we're going to continue doing tournaments. Everybody thinks that we're not doing tournaments anymore. That's not true. We're just not doing any money paid out tournaments. So it's all going to be about showboating and trophies and prizes and stuff like that, instead of getting the cheaters to come out and saying this, that, and the other, and bringing a whole bunch of drama. And we don't want that. It just kind of takes the fun out of it. You can still be competitive and have fun despite having not winning money. You can. To me, I've always thought that if you won, I thought the guys down there with the belt, at Wolfert's, I thought that's a great thing to have. You won the championship belt for Angler of the Year, and let it be known that that metal show. Yeah, I missed that show. Actually, that was a really good show. I listened to Jim Florentine on Sirius when he comes on Ozzy's Boneyard. But yeah, I kind of like getting back to the fishing thing. I was just like, I plan on fishing, just not filming a lot for it, but definitely going to be doing a lot more on Horns Up with music and beer reviews, stuff like that, and bourbon. I know you don't like whiskey, but I like whiskey as well, and just basic dude stuff, man.
I try, when I listen to my buddies from 21090, they'll do they do reviews of stuff, and when they smell it, they're smelling, I can smell the honey or the maple or the vanilla, I can smell the cherry, and I'm going, I smell gasoline.
Wow. Well, it's not for everybody. I'm not like, a diehard by any means, but I definitely like a good whiskey, a good bourbon. So, it's one of those things. I'm not a big guy on getting drunk. I don't like that feeling at all. I just like the taste. I like to relax with the beer. I did decide to cut back on my drinking though, because I was drinking like pretty much every day. I was having a beer or two, and IPAs are a lot of calories, man. You'll put on the weight the older you get. So
this one here is the Bourbon County Stout.
It's good stuff. Yeah, I've had that.
And the flavor profile.
Yeah, they're yearly. That's a yearly release. It should have the year written on that. Let me see if I can pull up one here.
That whole time, and not once did we freeze. And now all of a sudden, I show you a beer. And this is 15. This is 15%. This is 15% alcohol beer. This is like I said, this is barrel aged in whiskey barrels. This beer, and I think they do it for a year. They come out every Black Friday. They come out with a series with like 4 or 5, like 5 or 6. I think 6 of them every year, and it's like they have different flavors and everything. So I'm going to try it. I'm not going to try it tonight for some reason, man. I usually drink the IPA, the hazy IPAs.
Yep.
The regular IPAs for some reason the hoppiness, it just seems like I get dehydrated and it gives me a headache. I drink the hazy, juicy IPAs, and it don't happen to me.
Hmm. Yeah, here's one that I had from 2017.
Nice.
So yeah, that's
Did we freeze?
Goose Island.
He froze. We froze.
I froze. Wow. We there now?
So I'm wondering if you want to. I froze again. Wi-Fi. Wonder, would you like? We'd like to try. Well, beer aged in a barrel. I know. Yeah, it's kind of a new thing. Let me tell you what the beer stuff, all the varieties of beers they got now. The one I have is it's kind of like a sour, but it's like lactose in it, but it's not really sour. But they put all kind of flavors in them and stuff. They're kind of sweet.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Um, but these right here, they've become a really big thing. Like I said, they get aged in whiskey barrels, and it's their, they have different kind of whiskey stuff. I'm really not that up to date on what barrels. I mean, that's why I listen to my buddies from 21090. Babe, could you grab this and put that back in there for me?
Here's one for you.
What's that?
That's a hysteria. That's what you were talking about with lactose. It's a milkshake.
Yeah, there you go.
Milkshake IPA, Baltimore Chop, and this is only released like once a year. But yeah, this is they have a tap room right up the road, so pretty convenient.
I'm going to drink one beer. The reason I haven't drank, and everybody keeps telling me I lost weight. I
Yeah,
haven't. Huh?
I saw that today in your video that you did yesterday, and I'm like, damn, Sam's thinning out there.
Well, since I was hurt with my knee, I was taking a lot of ibuprofen, and while I was taking it, man, I wasn't drinking. I wouldn't, I'm not going to drink on that stuff. So, I'm pretty good about it. So I have it. I mean, for like 2 months, man, I might drink maybe once or twice in like 2 months.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I guess that's the only thing I could think of. But I don't know. I'm pretty excited. Like I said, I want to do both channels, but because I do all the editing and stuff like that, because I want to throw in as much fishing. I'm hoping maybe we can do this once a month. Maybe if it starts catching on, you know, uh, we can get some people going on, and maybe one time we'll throw it on your channel, and then this, like every other month we'll switch and do it on each other's channel.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Once a month, and if you want to do it on a Saturday night, because we usually don't do too much. We're very boring people.
Eat, sleep, and work, man. I'll throw a little fishing in there in the middle, but it's not a whole lot going on.
Well, the good thing for me, I mean, I don't know how you are. I don't really have, I don't have kids running around or anything. So I get pretty on. She lets me go if I really want to go. I can pretty much go out when I want. Tomorrow looks like a good day to maybe go out and do something, but I got some stuff to do around. I got some stuff to do around the house, and it's a weird thing that one of the main things I have to do is right over here. I have a 150-pound Saint Bernard that I have to. I have to trim her nails. It's a big deal when you got a 150-pound hairy dog that likes sitting out in 20-degree weather. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've met your dog. It's a big dog. It's a big fur baby.
Yeah, and so I got to like trim her tomorrow and cut her up and just give just trim her, cut her nails and stuff like that, and that's a little bit of a task to do. But clean up the boat, my trolling motor. I went out and did some rock fishing. So the video, my last crabbing video when we were at the Wye River, that was on a Tuesday. That Sunday before, I was actually out on the Wye River doing some striper fishing. Um, John from Denton Rod and Tackle, before he closed up, he said that he was in a certain spot up in there, and he was freaking smashing the rockfish in there. Top water. I was throwing little swim baits and stuff, and the problem each time that I went, I had incoming tide, I had outgoing tide, so the tide was really far out both times, and that kind of took me off that day. My trolling motor wouldn't work for some reason. I could not get it to work. So that's going to be a video. I'm actually going to make a video of me trying to find out why my trolling motor isn't working. And then maybe the trolling motor is not working, and I can actually go and buy me a spot lock trolling motor. My wife said I can do it if it don't work.
No, I didn't.
I'm actually thinking about getting one. I wanted to get one this year, but we, like I said, we were in the process of getting our kitchen remodeled and some improvements on the house. But yeah, maybe this year I get one, the motor guide, with the spot lock on it for my kayak. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, because I hate fishing in the wind. You go out in the wind and you get blown off the spot, and you're like paddling and like trying to cast and paddle, and it becomes annoying as hell.
I did it a couple times, and I was actually at Tuckahoe in the little lake with mine, and you're trying to fish a spot, but the wind's just blowing you back. So I ended up just sitting in the lily pads and just.
Oh yeah, it's the
just
best
kept,
way to do it sometimes. Just anchor in the pads.
Oh
yeah.
God. But yeah, I haven't, like I said, when I did that video, man, I haven't been on the boat in 2 months, except for going out with Eddie. Except for going out with Eddie and Steven, I haven't been out and did anything. And thank God I had about 4. I still got one video. Well, I got 3 videos. I was out with 2 YouTubers and my buddy Eddie from the neighborhood, I guess. And I took them all crabbing. So I was going to do one video. It's just summertime crabbing, but I was going to do a collage, kind of mix them all 3 together as we were crabbing instead of 3 different ones. But that's kind of my last video. So I gotta get out and do as much fishing and get out and do whatever I can before I'm laid up for a couple months. But while I'm rehabbing, that's why I'm going to do a couple live streams. I've talked to Steven, Camboris, Noah, and Zach, the fishery biologist, them guys, and I think Rudy Rudell, he's gonna come on. I'm definitely hoping are you gonna be down at the expo again this year?
Yeah, we're gonna have a table at the PSG, Pasadena Sport Fishing Group, in February, and I'm sure a couple of us will go down to the Ken Island show later this month. That's normally the first one that we go to.
That's cool. I'm hoping to get us. I know that anybody, I don't know who's on here really watching, but right here I have it. It's called Harvester. They're going to sponsor that video, and I'm trying to get another really big sponsor. I got to talk to them. I was introduced to the lady, and I know that their store is mainly hunting. And they do have a fishing section, and a fishing section they pretty much take down every year. And then when springtime it starts to come up and the hunting's over with, they bring it all back out. Well, this year I think they left it up, but I think they want to start pushing the fishing. So what else better than to get, like the snakehead guys up there, because right now in Maryland, that is definitely the big fish, out there, especially come springtime. Everybody's going to be aching to get out to do some snakehead fishing. Hopefully I can persuade them to maybe have a day where we can maybe bring Camboras, maybe, a bunch of guys that do snakehead, maybe have a seminar, but have something going on there. I'm going to see how they do it. I think they're got some pretty good big ideas and stuff like that. So I'm hoping maybe to do that too. maybe get them to sponsor the live stream. See how if that works or not. But yeah,
That
man.
sounds good.
Yeah, we'll see how that happens. But if you like to do this once a month, we can pick like this. We could try to say like, hey, have it the second week of every month. You know, like
Yeah, we'll work it out behind the scenes, I guess. Try to come up with a schedule.
that'll be cool.
But yeah, be
I think
cool.
fun, and we can have different topics. We can do like our top 10 albums of the '90s, or top 10 albums of '91, or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
You know, stuff like that, or whatever new it's got coming out. We can actually do a review on something new, like a new album you just found out. But we'll do something musically. But I still like for us to, as much as we do all this, you know, there's nothing more I know we enjoy talking about is fishing too. I'd like to definitely mix both of that up.
Sounds like a plan, Sam.
Well, Tommy, I know you're ready to go. I know I'm going to go, and I'm going to sit here and finish my beer. I'm actually drinking right now. It is a longboard. It is a Kona, just a regular old good tasting beer. It's not so about 4 or 5% alcohol. It's not too potent, but it's just a good drinking beer. You know.
Oh yeah. Now it's time for me to grab one more for the night, and then sit up with the wife, and then call it a night.
All right, man. I appreciate it. I'm sorry that Anastasia didn't come up. I was really excited to see what kind of music she was into, but maybe next time she'll come up. But we'll talk to you later. And I had a blast, man. I appreciate you coming up and spending some time talking music, man. It was great.
Yeah, it's fun times, man. Appreciate it as always.
All right, pal. I'm going to end
See
it.
you.
See you, man.
Thanks, guys, for watching.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody.